Guys, Deluded Guna, YouTube's N'Golo Kante. Now, a lot of you have actually been asking me to speak about Rio's comments, Lampard's comments, Gerrard's comments in regards to the England's golden generation. Now, for those of you who don't know or not in the know, you can go on YouTube and view what they said. But they were talking on BT. I think there was a match, and they gave a little insight into why it didn't click for England in regards to the golden generation from defence to attack. There was great players, and it just didn't happen and didn't get anywhere other than the quarterfinals. Some disappointment, and they were given that a little insight. And Rio firstly said the rivalries held them back because in his mind he was looking at as that him and Lampard used to be good friends at West Ham, but now obviously respectively via different paths. One's at Chelsea now, prime of his career, winning stuff, trying to win stuff. Same goes for Rio at United. He didn't want to give Lampard any sort of edge, anything, any little tips and hints he could pick up and go back and tell Jose or whoever is in the managerial job at Chelsea at the time to give the edge over United. Now United, Fergie days, want to win stuff. The same went for Lampard. Gerrard, it sounded like lesser so, but again, the vibes was there. And that is valid, it's true. You can see how that can cause discontent, especially if you get to latter stages of a cup tournament and you need togetherness and things. But when you look at the Spanish and the Madrid players, it's slightly different, but it's arguably worse between Barca and Madrid, if some to a degree, especially for the homegrown Barcelona players, because to a degree it's we not to make it about society, but the Catalonian people, the Spanish, are they Spanish? Do they want to reclaim the Spanish? It's arguably worse, and especially when these teams. Do you remember when Barcelona and Madrid were literally the best teams in? I know that you could say that now, but literally the best teams, strongest teams by far, especially when Messi and Ronaldo in their peak. By far the best teams in Europe, and everyone used to watch El Clasico, and you saw the Spanish players. They had to put all that aside to play for Spain, and they are arguably more decorated collectively than the English players that are claiming this rivalry. So it's not really a cop-out. Then again, when you look at the fact that a lot of them Spanish players and a lot of the German players and a couple of examples have all been together through the youth ranks, won stuff. So there's a bit of continuum, stuff like that there. So you can see how they can gel, and England didn't really have that. But yeah, man, even you could say, but then again, I know Belgium are not, they ain't been doing stuff that England have, and that's not a compliment. They could say, everybody could say this, because I mean, they've got Lukaku who's at United now, Kevin De Bruyne who's at City, and then you've got Hazard at Chelsea, sides that want to win the league. Now, are them not gonna work together? I strongly much doubt it. Again, not the best examples, but you get the point. Or Argentina with their when they got to the 2014 World Cup final with their Madrid and Barcelona players, it is somewhat a cop out. I hear it, but it's a cop out. Oh, like I said, when it is a beneficial whether they're it is a benefit to win stuff in your youth ranks like Germany and Spain coming up through that. The rivalries doesn't really play a part. But then you could also say, does it have a knock-on effect? Because if you look at England nowadays, it just looks like a link-up. I've said this for time, and Gerrard basically kind of hinted to it in the interview when he said something. It just feels like a link-up now. It just feels like everybody comes. Like if I look at it, Sterling's at City, Dele's at Spurs, Ox at Liverpool, all of these other young players and older players. There's just a link up. Like it's just for Snapchat and Instagram. It's just a link up now. I believe it is a cop out. Now you could say I do believe a lot of what they said is true, but I do believe again it's a cop out because the players like Gerrard, all of them looked inward. To be fair to them, before they criticised anyone else out. But you're world class players. Players that have played for all of them clubs have said they've turned off from club managers when they felt it wasn't working well. Now, obviously, you're not with the national team players as much and you don't have as much time, but you can apply somewhat that logic. You're intelligent players playing for arguably the best managers at the time and still now around. You have enough footballing IQ and have worked on enough patterns and systems to realise when something isn't working. Yes, the manager is going to force it down you, but you need to realise that. Now, we might as well talk about the managers. You had Sven Eriksson at one point trying to turn Gerrard into a striker. McLaren, a joke, man, not getting into the Euros. Was it 08? Yeah, man. Sam Allardyce, most successful England manager on the basis of a 100% win record, but we know how that went. Capello, I think I swear he got to the second round in 2010 and they flopped because of the disallowed Lampard goal. Ultimately, that golden generation, let's just say from the early 2000s to let's say 2010, just to be generous, because 2014 it really weren't there. They didn't get any further than the quarterfinals of anything. So that is a big degree bad thing. The managers were duds. Collectively, these managers were duds. And there's not one single thing you can blame, whether it's the players, the manager, the tactics. They're not gelling because of the competitive nature. There isn't one single place you can blame it to. Although saying that, making this now, and thinking about the quarterfinals and the latter stages of the World Cup and these things where you need togetherness and stuff like that, I kind of am leaning towards the case of being not being rivals and things really did play a serious part against you guys. But when you look at Spain, it doesn't hold anything, and this is something that will never get answered. To be honest with you, it's happened now. Golden generation is done. We can only look towards the 2000s and beyond bunch. You look very exciting. The youth set up at England are all winning stuff from under 21 level all the way down to 17, 16s. So yeah, the future's bright, man. But guys, the Ludigoon, I'm signing out. There's not much more to say on that. I hope I've given you guys something to think about or provided some good entertainment. So yeah, I'm signing out. Yeah.